futuro di Ita? Per il CEO di Ryanair Eddie Wilson non sarà brillante, anzi andrà avanti zoppicando, sostiene. Con il governo italiano i rapporti restano molto buoni a patto che venga rimossa l'addizionale municipale, stoccata anche per gli amanti degli animali, divieto di portarli sui voli Ryanair.
We've given a proposal to the Italian government last year that would see Ryanair, as the largest airline in Italy, grow with an extra 20 million passengers from 65 million passengers. But I'd say our relationship generally is very good with the government. Yeah. I think it's time for the Italian government to do something about connectivity, because there's no doubt that people in the regions have got used to low fares and access, but they just really can't access that to Rome. So we would hope that we would get a solution there.
Resta però il problema dell'addizionale municipale, la tassa che i passeggeri in partenza dagli aeroporti italiani pagano e caricata direttamente sul costo del biglietto.
If the government just lowered this tax, it would mean then that we could invest even more. We've got 3 additional aircraft going in, 2 in Bergamo, 1 in Malpensa, and we'll have about 120 routes here and 31 aircraft. So, you know, it's a drag on investment in this part of the world, but I think the real problem is going to be in Rome. What you see is that the prices at the main airport in Rome are continuing to rise. And when I go to the regions, like I was in Sicily and Calabria last week, they're crying out for more connections to Rome. But like charges to land in Rome are close to 50 euros when we're trying to sell 19 euro fares. It doesn't make sense. But I think we need to open up capacity into Rome, and the national government need to look at that, because Rome is being artificially constrained at the moment. While Ryanair is investing in Malpensa and in Bergamo, we don't have that choice in Rome. You've got one airport that's got smaller, and you've got one airport that's got more expensive. And the only losers to that is connectivity in Rome, particularly from the regions.
Non spaventa la concorrenza, tantomeno l'accordo tra Ita e Lufthansa.
ITA will trundle along, I think, but there's no aircraft order there. There's no volume increases, and we can transform that. I think in the longer term, I would sort of fear for connectivity there, because the track record of Lufthansa when they buy airlines is to constrain their growth. They did exactly the same at Austrian when they bought it, they did exactly the same with Swiss, and they did exactly the same with Brussels Airlines. And I don't see any difference with ITA. And while they currently have connectivity out of Rome, I would fear in the next crisis, and there's always a crisis in this industry, it's a cyclical industry, that I can't see ITA growing out of Rome. And that's why I circle back around to what I just said here. Who's going to grow in Rome? We've got the aircraft, we've got 300 aircraft coming, and we could transform Rome, but it is too expensive in Fiumicino. It's almost 50 euros per passenger. And we're trying, and that's almost the equivalent of our average fare. And Ciampino's got smaller. So Rome is the problem. Again, I'd sort of say to the Italian government, once you lower these access costs, you don't just do it for Ryanair, you do it for anyone who's got aircraft and investment.
Cattive notizie anche per gli amanti degli animali. Le politiche della compagnia irlandese non sembrano essere destinate a cambiare.
Look, it's too complicated. I know some people love their dogs and they would do anything for their dogs, but you've got allergies, you've got all sorts of problems. We've enough problems with documents for humans, so the documents for dogs. So I'm sorry, Rover, we won't be bringing you on our flights anytime soon.